Welcome back to the channel. This week we are testing the 2026 Subaru Outback Limited. So this is one of the top trims for the Subaru Outback of 2026. Some really welcome changes this year coming to the Outback. You can see it looks more like a traditional standard SUV versus like, the old one that kind of looked like a hatchback sort of thing. I like this one way better. You can see we've got like a new light bar that goes across the big, plastic or bumper there. It looks a little bit rugged. This isn't the Wilderness trim that has just came out. This is a little bit higher than that, but you still get kind of the painted fenders and stuff like that, but it doesn't have the same amount of like off-road ruggedness that the Wilderness will offer. It has obviously a little bit of a lower ride height than the Wilderness, but still, this is something that, can definitely handle the snow. I don't know how much, if any, snow we'll get this week, but hopefully we get some because I'd love to test that Symmetrical All-Wheel Drive system. Looks really, really cool. But overall, this looks like a really, really good spec for the Subaru Outback. It just looks really nice. I'm a fan of the inside, the outside. But you know what? It's cold out here, so let's just hop in and let me tell you how it drives here for 2026. All right, so let's go out on the road now with our 2026 Subaru Outback. Yes, it is a nice time to have this thing because it's the winter, but unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be that much snow in the forecast this week. There's like a little bit, so hopefully there's enough to where maybe I can try to get this thing to slide and see if I actually can get it to slide with the traction control on, just to see how it performs and, how much you're actually going to slide. But, I can kind of evaluate it differently. I can kind of tell you that the ride quality is actually surprisingly good, really, really comfortable. Steering's a little on the light side, but honestly, it's not a big deal for an SUV of this size, and what you're probably going to end up doing with it, probably a light steering is not too bad. Now, I don't necessarily think that you're going to buy the limited trim to go off-roading, although I do think that it can probably sort of keep up with the Wilderness in terms of like light trail stuff like that, kind of back road stuff like that, and then absolutely the winter. Obviously, having a higher ground clearance in the winter would help a little bit more, but it's not necessarily something I consider to be a necessity. I think this limited trim is really, really well equipped. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering. So far, it hasn't taken a long time to heat up, which is a big issue for some vehicles in the winter. Some vehicles, I'll run them for 10 minutes, wait inside, come back outside, and they're still freezing. Not the case so far with the Subaru, because I kind of went into the office and came back outside to film kind of this part, and it warmed up from pretty much cold, no problem, because there's no like remote starter on this thing at all. Let's just see if I push it a little bit though. Let's see. Oh yeah, not too bad, right? Like, it does definitely have a get up and go, no issue. Like, not bad at all, honestly. That's quite impressive for a, again, an SUV of this size and this caliber. Very, very nice. Very good job so far by Subaru. I like the seats here. The steering wheel is nice and comfortable, nice visibility, a digital rear view mirror, which is super impressive to me. Not something I'd expect to see on Subaru. This, at this point in the game, I just thought maybe it's not something they would include, but they have here, and that's pretty awesome. I've got 2 sets of memory seat settings. We're going to go over all that in detail later, but yeah, it's just a great place to spend time so far, and car seat, just installed it not too long ago, fits absolutely no problem. Ton of trunk space, ton of passenger space. Man, this thing is gonna get the job done. And I actually like the look, both interior and exterior. I love the fact there's no more tablet. There's no more massive looking iPad thing. And this seems to run a whole heck of a lot better than that iPad thing does. It's a less screen real estate, which means, they have the ability to optimize animations. My goodness, get it out. There's a bunch of time to do that because they're not trying to do it over this massively large screen, which, let's be honest, is way too big. I hope the WRX and other Subaru products get this kind of treatment because this is what we need. But yeah, let's get into it here. Let me live with it for a day or two, and then I'll pick it back up. We're going to go over a little bit more on the exterior. We're going to take an in-depth dive of the interior, show the engine, the trunk space, absolutely everything in this video. Let's get to it. All right, welcome back outside with our Subaru Outback 2026. It looks really good from the outside. I really like these new changes. I love the fenders. It actually doesn't look too good or too bad when it's dirty, which is good because, a lot of the times if you live in a climate like I do where there's snow everywhere all the time, it's gonna get dirty 90% of, the winter, which is like 6 months for me almost. So, like it's got to look good. And I think in this color it does. It's like a gray, almost like a greenish gray, if that makes sense. The one thing though that I haven't shown you just yet is the trunk. Hopefully I have enough room. I kind of backed up all the way to not be in the way here, but it's an automatic tailgate, of course, so that's really, really good. But look how much space we have in here, right? This isn't available in a third row, right? You can't option this as a third row, so you just get all this space, and it's just a ton of it. And you have like little cargos right there. You've got this really nice liner here that I've got in mine, and then this is actually, you can use them as grocery hooks if you want, I guess, but you can actually hook on like a cover, a privacy cover, so that people can't look in your trunk. I have it off because I had to put my daughter's car seat back here, so I was filming, but you can do that absolutely no issues if you need, which I think is awesome. Yeah, just the way it closes, easy, easy, easy. I just love the look. I mean, I like it so much more than that kind of like rounded off hatchback look. I wasn't always a fan of that. This I'm so much more of a fan of, and I actually kind of want to check out the Wilderness. It kind of has a little bit more ground clearance, a little bit more off-roady. You know, it hasn't been actively snowing, so I can't really tell how the Limited would do versus something more off-road, but I think just Subaru's track record in general here in Quebec, or here where I'm from anyways, is really, really good. But what do you think? What do you think about the exterior design? Is this a good change or a bad change for you? Do you like the old one, or are you thinking about getting this new one? Let me know in the comments. Hopping up front, you can see it's much the same. We do have 2 sets of memory seat settings and normal door controls right here. Seat controls are power adjusted, and you have that nice little thigh extender right there. I do again like the seats, love the interior color, mixes really nice with the black in here, but let's actually have a seat inside. All right, so once you're inside, you're greeted with this very nice Subaru steering wheel. I like the physical buttons here as well. Looks very, very good. So you've got some stuff here for your media control and stuff like that. And then you also have your cruise control with your X mode button, which is basically enabling the off-road mode inside of your Outback. So over on the left-hand side, though, not a lot of buttons. There's 2 buttons that are grayed out here, but you do have the illumination control and the trunk button, so that is an automatic tailgate button, really nice. I love this brown stitching right here. And then we move on to our digital gauge cluster. So you can see there's a couple of different themes right here. Really, really nice. You can kind of switch through these. You can have the Google Maps in the middle, or not, actually it's the Apple Maps because I'm on CarPlay. And then you can also just have something more clean. I like the gauges, and you can also change what is inside of that gauge, which is pretty cool. Now, the design here is pretty good. I would have liked to see it maybe come forward or maybe like do something with this section right here, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Over onto our infotainment display, which is Apple CarPlay wirelessly connected, so not causing me a ton of problems when I'm filming. Obviously, this is going to be super laggy because I'm filming at the same time as trying to use it, so it's just going to interrupt there a little bit, but it won't do that when we go back to the main screen right here. No issues at all. It is nice and smooth. There's a couple of different settings that you can go through as well. It's just really fast, right? Because there's no more big iPad inside the Subaru. So I really like how simple it is, how responsive it all is, and just easy to use and understand. Like, it's just not complicated at all. And you also have a built-in navigation here as well. So really, really easy, simple to use and understand, and that's how it should be. We also have a digital rear view camera, very nice. I will say though, at nighttime, it's a little bit strange because it kind of goes black and white, but still in the daytime, perfectly fine. A little bit lower, we do have our dual zone automatic climate control, all physical buttons, no messing around again with an infotainment display. This is exactly how it should be, heated and ventilated seats up here. So that's very nice. You can see the thing will kind of change color there, but obviously the heated seats is very important. Heated steering button is of course going to be right over here. We also do have a wireless charging pad, USB-C and USB-A ports, which is very nice. And then we also have our nice little shifter here. Nothing complicated, very easy to understand. It does have a manual mode, and we do also have some paddle shifters. I have a really nice 360-degree camera. You can see you can kind of get the wide angle. So not really meant for off-roading, but some of these angles are quite good, especially this kind of like chase camera right here looks really good for that kind of thing. So glad to have that. Very satisfied with the look overall. You also have your traction control off, so that button is kind of right there. Your auto start stop and your AVH button is right there. Then you also have 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage in here, as well as more storage over here. Passenger seat much feels the same as the driver's seat. Very comfortable overall. They get a nice view, and the leg room is not obstructed by that rear-facing car seat. There's still plenty of room on both sides of that vehicle. So really, really nice. I like the sunroof up here too, not too bad either. So Subaru has really, really improved it in my opinion. You know, we didn't need a big iPad. That wasn't something that the Subaru Outback ever needed. I don't even know if any of the Subaru models need that massive iPad. We have our physical buttons for the climate control. Everything's physical. Everything looks good. You know, there's tech where there should be and no tech where there shouldn't be. And they really, really have impressed me here with their interior. But I want to know what you think. What do you think of this new interior? What do you think of the little changes they've done here? All right, so once again, exiting a parking lot with the Subaru Outback, but we're going to go back on the road because I got a couple more thoughts, maybe a little bit more of a refined thought on the Outback overall. So like, it hasn't really snowed that much. I think we may get some snow tonight or Friday, I'm not sure, but I doubt it'll be enough to, like, you know, it's definitely not a winter storm where, you know, there's a crazy amount and, you know, the roads will not be able to be cleared in a night. I don't think that's the case. I did have some, like, you know, slushy snow or like wet snow or whatever to kind of drive through this week a little bit. And, you know, I find it interesting. Like the Symmetrical All-Wheel Drive is really good. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really impressive. But it's such an interesting thing because it will allow for some sliding, but it feels very controlled the whole time. The thing I compare it to the most is actually the Mazda CX-90. That thing, it would slip and then kind of really correct, and you'd feel like the whole back end just kind of straighten out like really fast. There's no urgency in Subaru's thing. It's just smooth. It's just like linear. It just goes, and then you're just slowly getting corrected, and it just kind of allows a little bit of a slide, but the whole time the system is controlling you and controlling the power. You can really feel that. There's just a bit of a, like, I just feel a little bit more planted to the road in a Subaru, and I completely understand why people are buying these things. These things are really good in the winter. I mean, it heats up really fast. It's got good heated steering. There's, you know, quite a bit of power. This isn't a hybrid or anything, but there is a decent amount of power here. We get nobody around us here. Let's slow down a little bit. And let's give it some beams. Let's just see what it does. You know, doesn't sound like it enjoys itself while doing it, but it will do it, right? I mean, it's pretty good. It's got definitely enough speed to get you up on the highway, get you up and going anywhere you need to go. I don't really expect much more than that. And, you know, it's also really comfortable. Like, the ride is really smooth. Of course, if you hit a big pothole, you'll probably feel it. But for the most part, just driving on, like, you know, decently paved roads, no problem at all. I also do like the handling and stuff like that. I do have an X mode should ever I need it, but honestly, I don't really ever see myself needing it this week. Of course, if there's a snowstorm, maybe I want that, you know, to help me out a little bit more. But dry roads, it's really good in the extreme cold because it really doesn't take that much time to heat up. And that's sometimes an issue with vehicles where, you know, it's minus 20, minus 30, and they take forever. You know, some vehicles I've been in, it only heats up when I arrived at my destination, and at that point, I might as well have opened the windows, you know. So the heated steering is good too. Like, there's only two spots for it. Like, it's only at the left and right hand sides. The top and bottom, forget it, they're not heated. So that's a little unfortunate, but again, not a big deal because it's really strong. The heat that does come from the steering wheel is really, really strong. And I think that's more than enough to get the job done, or it has been, at least in minus 20. I don't feel like I have to pop on the gloves for a while. You know, the heated steering heats up really fast. Same thing with the seats. They heat up really fast. So, you know, you get warm quickly in here because it doesn't even have a remote start or anything. So that's a little bit annoying too. If it's, you know, you want to use it as a winter car and you can't really start it up before you get it in. Yeah, it's one of those things. But it does heat up fast once you're inside. So that's good news for Subaru. And I really, really think that even in like heavy snow, whatever, I think the Subaru All-Wheel Drive would definitely shine through pretty easily. All right, so we're back outside with the Subaru engine here. Got the open engine bay so that I could actually film some B-roll with it, but let's talk about it. A decent amount of horsepower and torque numbers. I'll put them up because I can't remember them off the top of my head. But what's cool is here you could actually see some of the cooling here going on. So you can see these big intakes right there, and then it kind of just feeds right back into that center point there. I think that's really cool, and I actually think it's pretty efficient. And think that might be something to do with the oil right there. So it looks like pretty serviceable to me anyways, from somebody who has like zero mechanical knowledge. I just drive the cars and review them and talk about the horsepower. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I think it's a pretty decent looking. But the only thing I wish is that we didn't have to use this stick thing here. That would have been a lot nicer. But other than that, really no complaints. Great job by Subaru. Decent engine, gets the job done. All right, last time outside with our Subaru Outback Premiere top trim, top level. This is what it looks like at the end of the week in the winter when you actually drive it every day. So a lot of that, nice color is kind of starting to fade as the salt rides up to it. The back just looks like absolute crazy. And the funny thing is if you live in Canada, it's either you wash this thing yourself, which you're probably not going to do, or you take it to a car wash, which when it's cold enough, like right now, it's like minus 30 right now, then the car washes become closed because the doors like freeze to themselves. So there you go. That's your solution. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad dirty, which I think is a strong point for any Subaru, because most of them have like the plastic fenders and stuff like that. So, it looks good when it's got some crap on it, and that's kind of a good thing. It kind of looks like it's in its element, but obviously a clean Subaru will always look a lot better. But that's the thing, is this is the reality of living with a winter Subaru, and it's gonna look like this quite a bit. Everybody else's car sort of looks like that too. So it's just one of those things that happen. But really, really nice vehicle. I really, really have enjoyed my time with it. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments, or if you have any specific questions, also let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one. I'll see you next week. See you next car. Take care.